I'm Logan Duval and have had quite the journey to get to the point of where we're making this video, and I hope that we're able to take those lessons we've learned along the way and share them. That way you can impact yourself, impact your life. And so to start, I'm a father of four, small business owner, been very much involved in agriculture and food for most of my working life. And with that experience, life threw me another curveball in the way of my oldest of four kids being diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And so that cancer journey made me learn, made me dive, made me experience things that otherwise, I wouldn't, for better or for worse. And those lessons that we learned are something that we're going to package and dive into how they can be applied to make things better for you, your family, your tribe, and your community. Business has been something that has had a major impact, this ripple effect across a lot of different avenues of life. And with that, it has given us the way to influence and serve and help other people. And what I mean by that is, as we've been open and shared our story, we've had a lot of people come for assistance, come for help, guidance, and with the diet and health and food that's going on, we've been able to connect with them. So connecting with the consumer. And, I'm not really a big fan of that, because I think that word consumer, because it gives more of a transactional connotation, whereas we are building a community. So in the method that I try to employ is to build a community through marketing, through connection. And so the first way that we do that is by being open and transparent. So we're not getting on here and complaining to connect. We're getting on here to say, hey, this is the problem and this is the solution. So we're going to focus a lot more on the solution. For us, the first issue came with, my son is diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. What does that mean? What do we do to get through it? And as we learned about diet and nutrition, it tied back into business of running a farmer's market. So we've got Me and McGee Market, that is a local, family-owned farmer's produce market on the side of the road in North Little Rock. And so as we learned and we shared about the adversity that we faced, we wanted to provide those solutions. So that gave us another layer of saying, where do those foods come from? How are they made? How are we using them? What does our diet look like? And all of that is the opportunity to share and create a solution. That's where we really got into taking the social media to another level in creating those solutions as a video. So packaging it in writing, so written books, written blog posts, shot videos, hosted TV shows. All of that is about building community, so connecting with the consumer. The method that I think gets overlooked a lot when we're talking about business and marketing is it's all transactional. And what I mean by transactional is we're just trying to make a sale. We're just trying to sell something, which that is a massive part of business. Is you've got to be profitable if you're going to be sustaining. But what you've got to do is build that relationship, because people are going to buy from somebody that they like. They're going to work with somebody that they like and that they trust. So the most fundamental book that I believe for business is going to be Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. And that goes into not how to work people, not how to take advantage and coerce them, but how to relate to them, how to build a strong relationship. And so it's about honesty. It's about using people's names, talking about what they are interested in, listening, smiling. So by being trusted, by being a resource, it makes everything else a lot easier. Very early on of my experience with Me and McGee Market, we were approached by Farm Bureau, and they came out and they wanted to shoot a video. And how does a little produce stand on the side of the road pull so many people and have such a significant presence in the community? And so that's what really got me thinking on like, what have we done? What have we employed? Well, it came from my mom and grandma having a servant's heart, in all honesty, and it was how do they do something that takes care of somebody else. But as I came in and applied more direct intention to it, it all goes back to the books on how to treat somebody else and how to be related. So in the interview with Farm Bureau, they said, what do you do? Well, you talk to somebody like they're your friend, like they're your neighbor, and you don't just want something from them. You're providing value, because something that I think we've all experienced on one extent or another is like when you're around somebody, they either make you feel better or they make you feel worse. And so how I explain this to our crew is we're all like these batteries, and everybody that we interact with is a charger or they're a drain. And so we want to be a charger for people, and we want to kind of limit our time of somebody that's going to be a drain. So if we focus on adding value to somebody else's life, you strengthen that relationship. So on the business cards and everything that we put out, I have a little quote that says, it's the experience, because that's what we want to focus on. We want to focus on when somebody pulls up to the market, maybe for the first time, they don't know what to expect. They are looking around, they see these big pretty pecan trees and some landscape that's decorated, and they're taking it in, but then they're going to be welcomed. Okay, they're going to say, one of our crew or I are going to say, how are you doing today? What's going on? It's small chit chat, but it's creating the opening of that dialogue. And then that's where you listen, you learn people's names, you have what a good acronym that I once came across is the Ford method, and that is going to be conversate with somebody about their interests, and that is Ford standing for family, it's occupation, it is recreation, and it's dream. So it's like, well, all right, hi Joe Brown, how are you? Where do you live? Well, I grew up right down the road, about 5 miles from here on Walker's Corner. And okay, your family from here? Yeah. Raised my kids, they went to Lone Oak. And so it's about learning about them. And then occupation, cool, they live here, what do you do? Well, I drive a truck, I'm on the road most of the time, but I really like to stop in here and eat at fill in the blank. When you do that and you listen and you're doing it to learn about somebody, it's appreciated, and that goes into something that we actually have written on all the boards and we share, and it's a quote that says, people will forget what you say, people will forget what you do, but they will never forget how you make them feel. And that's a Maya Angelou quote. When you're doing that, you're always remembering, I want you to experience a positive time at our business. We want to offer a service of positivity. And you just have this dialogue. Some people may not want to talk. You don't force them. You don't just put them in a headlock and answer my Ford questions. But the recreation of, oh well, you're on the road a lot. What do you do when you're home? Oh man, I love fishing. There's a little oxbow lake right down the road, and the crappie are like crazy. Oh, love it fishing. I don't personally fish. That's okay. You can just learn about how they like to spend their time. And then dreams and stuff that can be a little tricky, because everybody is maybe not as open or want to have that conversation. But it's another one that once you get into the next layer of building a relationship, it's like something about your friends when they become a little more than just this acquaintance, so you can go deeper into that. So family, occupation, recreation, and dreams are a great way to always have something to talk about, other than just oh man, the weather's pretty, or man, can you believe how wet it's been? That kind of stuff going through the motions is kind of draining. So having some sustenance to those conversations, man, it's a big deal. And like the tip that I feel has added to our business more than anything is the sincere desire to remember people's names. So oftentimes, I'm terrible with names. That's really probably the worst thing that you can say about yourself, because it basically says that I don't care. And so when you are striving to learn people's names and use their names. So if I see this guy, the truck driver, Joe Brown, again in another week, we say, hey Joe, how are you? People light up. And it's not about manipulation. It's not about trying to coerce them into something. It's about building that relationship, and you show by remembering somebody's name that you listen to what they said in your last interaction and you care. And that is where that whole feeling side comes in, and you can strengthen that relationship. And the sales and stuff take care of themselves. Take care of people and they're going to take care of you. Another aspect of connection and creating community is sharing kind of the backside of what's going on. And for us, being a farmer's market, because it's really all I can speak to is what we do, is sharing our partnerships, okay? Sharing the story behind the product. So for example, we do a lot of meat, and I'm very passionate about that. I'm very passionate about how the animals are raised, how they're treated, how they're processed, how the entire system goes, and I want to share that. I want to share how passionate the farmers are. So an example is going to be Hoyne Family Farms from my hometown of Atkins. We wanted to work with them, help them be successful in their business. And so an example is we went down to Atkins, we filmed with them, we flew the drone, we rode four-wheelers, and we were able to share with our audience on social media and what it is that goes on outside of just this little 1 pound package of ground beef. There's so much more. There's people, there's the animal, there is the environment. All of that is represented in this meat, in the 1 pound package. So by sharing that story, showing all aspects of that, you're building trust, you're building relationships, even if you're not having that one-on-one. For example, have you ever watched a TV show and then you happen to maybe see an actor in that TV show and you feel like you know them, you know that person because you've watched them? Well, that's another side of building relationships in business, is by sharing and being open and giving the positives of something. So we have a lot of people that love Hoyne beef because they feel like they know them and they have a story to tell their kids or grandkids or friends when they come over and they grill. It's more than just a product. So that's where it goes back to that whole building relationship, building community outside of just being transactional. We're building the whole food system in that example. We're building relationships. There's just a lot of wins that come in that type of marketing, in that type of connecting with the consumer by sharing. Grass-fed is all the rage. Let's see what that's all about here in my hometown, Atkins, Arkansas.
My name is Rachel Hoyne. We are on Hoyne Farms in Economy outside of Atkins, Arkansas, where we raise cattle.
We try to buy the best genetic bulls we can to raise fast-growing calves that we raise on grass.
When our customers buy meat from us, they're getting a truly grass-fed, grass-finished product.
So we try to graze the cattle as long as we can, let them harvest their own food, and just by rotational grazing and extending the grazing season into the fall and start as early as we can grazing in the spring.
I think it's been great to see customers outside of just our local area having access to grass-fed, truly grass-fed beef that's raised in the state of Arkansas.
All right, Matt, we're out here on this gorgeous piece of property. It is, it's really nice being out here. First time I've been on a four-wheeler in a while. That was fun coming in. So how many acres are we on, and how many head of cattle y'all got running?
There's about 1,000 acres here, and about 750 of it is pasture land for cattle. And we have about 300 cows right here.
About 300, and then a lot of what you're running out here, I see, is mama cows.
Yeah, it's a cow-calf operation, so we have, when we say cows, it's 300 mama cows, and then right now we've got about 150 calves, and then here in the fall we'll start another batch of calves.
Awesome. And y'all implement a lot of the rotational grazing methods for regenerative farming.
Yes, started that, well, really when I started leasing the farm 11 years ago, and we were even doing that when I worked here. Let a field grow up, and then put the cows on it, and then move them to the next field, and move them to the next one. It's more efficient. You actually grow more grass that way, and it's better for the grass and for the soil.
Better for a lot. And a lot of attention to climate warming and different things, but with the research that I've seen is by farming that way, you're adding a lot of carbon to the ground, putting it back in versus letting it out. Is there a reason that y'all kind of went that route to begin with?
Well, for one thing, we want to get the best use out of the acreage that we can, and the other thing is it extends my grazing season. I can graze a little bit longer than if I just ran them, open the gates and let them go wherever, you know.
Yeah.
So, and that is really one of the things I'm trying to do is graze cattle on the grass as long as I can. You know, year round would be great. I haven't got there yet, but I am doing some things to try to get more fall and early spring grazing so that I do not have to harvest and feed as much hay during the winter.
Yeah, reduces costs.
It reduces cost, reduces labor. It's a lot easier to let the cows harvest the grass than me harvest it and then turn around and put it right back out.
I hear you. We've got a big emphasis on the health benefits of it, and the grass-fed is just showing out. It's just all the research seems to be saying that, hey, this is the route that we need to be going. We need to be eating this way, and that's really important. So I'm excited to be able to highlight y'all that are living it, living what we're needing to do, and we're excited to be partnered up with y'all.
Yeah, we're excited too.
All right, Matt. Love to see everything up a little bit closer. So want to see more of the farm, and kind of just need another reason to ride the four-wheeler some more.
All right, sounds good.
Farming is a big deal, and it doesn't always look like what we think it does. And this operation is an amazing family that we have grown to absolutely love. What they're doing is top notch. They care about the animals, they care about the ground, and we're excited to highlight them. Thanks for watching, everybody. So cancer is absolutely massive in my world, and so that's where, when you're speaking to somebody, speaking in their interests. Cancer is of the utmost interest to me. I'm always reading, I'm always looking into it. My baby, saving him and making sure he has the best life it consumes me, honestly. But what we've done with that is we've found a lot of solutions, a lot of things that work, and a lot of things that we implement in our own lives. Well, if you have a solution that you can help somebody else, I think that we're almost obligated to share that. And I think that's where the most impactful businesses come from, is a personal pain point that you're able to package and help. With all of that, we put in a little health food store. If we use a product and we believe in the product, and we're having positive results from it, we want to share that. And so Lander is my son, and we put in this little health food store called Lander's Corner. Well, we have made so many videos. I've written so much stuff. The book Father's Heart, that was about what I implemented and the solutions we're striving for to overcome cancer. When we find something as important as the gut microbiome, I want to share with others that can help. So a lot of people, because we've been so open, come and ask for assistance. Hey, I have got major stomach issues. I'm not sleeping good. I was just diagnosed with cancer. I'm on high blood pressure medicine, just on and on and on. Do you know anything, or can you recommend a resource for me? That is going back to what I'm talking about in building a relationship, having trust, because I'm not trying to sell a supplement in a transactional way. I'm trying to provide something that's going to change somebody's life. For example, probiotics have been absolutely life-changing, and people, after experiencing that, they give their hard-earned money for something that positively impacts their life. Again, builds a relationship. You're connecting with that consumer. You're strengthening somebody else's life, improving the quality of their life. Then they trust you more to come back and say, hey, man, my gut is so much better. I'm going to the bathroom better. Now I am just really not sleeping good. Okay, well, what's going on? And so as I continue to dive into what makes the body work optimally, you find out that you've got all kinds of nutrients that are vital to health. And so another one is magnesium. And so I know I'm giving you very specific things here, but when somebody takes magnesium, it lowers stress level, it helps moderate blood pressure, it eliminates headaches in a lot of instances, helps people go to the bathroom, sleep better. So all of these improvements in their lives are something that they're going to associate with who gave them the solution, right? So they trust me more, they come out here more to buy their meat, to buy produce, to buy whatever they need to live their daily lives, because they like us, they trust us, and we've taken care of them. So the nutrients, the supplements, the solutions, that's what it is. It's all about going back to this. Hey, I had this pain point, I'm tired, I've been fatigued, I've dealt with high stress, this has worked for me, this may work for you, and then you just keep on. It's never something that is a journey with an end point. It is a process, and we're always either growing or dying. It's atrophy or growth, and that is with everything in life. So when we take our solutions and we help somebody else, I don't know of a better way to connect with that consumer. The biggest takeaway that I would really like for you to have in all of this is to focus first on relationships. Focus on connecting with somebody in a way that you're adding value to them. None of us want to just be sold something. We don't want to walk into a business and say, hey, you really need to buy this, or hey, give me money because I need your money and you should probably take this. So nobody wants that, but what we all want is to be cared about, to have a problem solved. And I believe that the three ways that we all make decisions is based off of a need, based off of a want, or based off solving a problem, a pain point. And so we do that first. Focus on building a relationship, and it is especially in the context of a small business where the owners are very much involved. It will do wonders, because people are going to do business with those that they like and those that they trust. When any of us have this massive pain point, right? Like we have a major problem in life that consumes us. That is an opportunity. So Napoleon Hill famously said, with every adversity, every difficulty comes a seed of an equal or greater opportunity. And so I cover this in the book pretty extensively, and it is about our mindset, how we react. Are we a victim or are we a victor? I'm not a great Christian by any stretch of the imagination, but I firmly believe in the Bible and biblical principles. And I think that we will reap what we sow. So Galatians 6:7 is what I base everything on Sowing Prosperity off of, and that is, do not be deceived, God is not mocked, whatever a man sows, this he shall also reap. So in the context of this adversity and sowing, when we use it as an opportunity to help somebody else, when we use it as an opportunity to improve in our lives, it gets better. Things get better. And while cancer, it was absolutely devastating to our lives in so many ways, we've been able to learn and grow and help other people. And when we focus on what we can control and taking those lessons to serve other people, man, magic happens. So my why of doing this is just to be able to serve and to be able to help others as they face. Because boy, I can tell you, I've been in the children's hospital bathroom just bawling my eyes out, trying to get my composure just to go in there and see my baby and just rub his little head and play video games while you're processing, while you're working through this difficulty. And when I have somebody comes to me and says, thank you for giving us a place to lower stress, for showing compassion and love and making us feel better, it makes those little times where I can now relate to them worth it. And I think that's what it's all about: building relationships and sowing prosperity.